bag swaps or clouting, which is how we shoved the goods we wanted to nick down our shoplifters' bloomers. They had elastic at the knee to stop things falling out on the floor and giving the game away. The world was changing around us, but some tried and tested methods were the very foundation of the gang, and our ridiculous bloomers were part of the uniform. Ditching my drawers would be like a cozzer going out without his hat. Brighton was a place fit for a queen. I loved the fresh sea breezes and the blustery pier, and it gave me a taste not just for fish and chips, but for antique jewellery. The kind you found in those little shops nestling up the lanes. If it was small and sparkly, it was so easy to pop into your pocket, shove up your sleeve, or even tuck under your hat when the assistant's back was turned. That made for a perfect day out. I liked those trips most of all because it felt as if we were having an old-fashioned beano like they had before the war. All that was missing was the charabanc and a crate of beer in the back. At night, there was nowhere better to relax with a drink to toast our success than my Soho club Ruby's, where gangsters rubbed shoulders with would-be film stars and aristos with fat wallets splurged on champagne with good-time girls. What a rum bunch we were. I should have known then that it was going to lead to trouble. Back then, I saw running my club as a nice little earner, a bit of security for the future. I loved singing, and I'd always dreamed of owning my own place, and everyone agreed I'd made a great job of it. Maybe I was cocky, but I thought I could have it all. I was riding high as Queen of the 40 Thieves, and my fella, Jimmy the Razor, was King of Soho. We had a little princess safely tucked up at home while we did our villainy, so our family was complete. It was the perfect life for thieves like us, but happy endings only happen in fairy tales, don't they? These days, I wonder if things could have worked out differently. But as the old saying goes, if and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkers' hands. I'd had plenty of time to think about it, and I spend almost every afternoon at the seaside now, under the blazing Spanish sun. There are no cooling breezes, no seagulls and no fish and chips served up in old newspapers. The days roll into one another, and I find myself gazing at the turquoise waves and dreaming about the life I left behind. The late afternoon sunlight dapples the water, and I watch the blonde-haired little boy running along the beach towards me. "Come on, Mum," he yells. "Play with me!" I smile and walk towards him, catching him and spinning him in the air as he squints at me. He plants a kiss on my cheek, laughing in a way that reminds me so much of his dad. Spain is paradise, I suppose. But I'm a long way from home, and the way things are, I can never go back. Chapter 1. Zoe. Limehouse, London, January 1957. It's fair to say that I owe my life to a German bomb. If it hadn't been for the Luftwaffe doing their best in the East End, smashing all the houses in the next street to smithereens, my mother might not have been terrified enough to send me to the countryside with the other evacuee kids. And then I might never have known that I wasn't born to be poor. I was just a tiny scrap of a thing, with a cardboard label tied to my dirty coat and my threadbare teddy tucked under my arm, when my mother took me to Paddington Station after the shock of the first attack in the Blitz. My whole world had been shoved into a battered little case, which I clasped in my hand as I struggled to keep up with her. My few belongings, a hairbrush, a set of holey socks, a worn pinafore, and an old toothbrush, rattled around inside it as she dragged me along beside her. There were tearful hugs on the platform all around us, but Mum just shoved me up the steps into the waiting carriage.